I've been living in paradise, and no more waiting on you tonight. And my dreams will never ever die. Can you feel that spark in our bones tonight? Tonight
Welcome back to R.L. Anderson Stadium for the UWS Southwest Regional Final. These two teams entering the field today with one goal, to win the conference and advance to the national tournament, and yet have very different mindsets in doing so. Lone Star Republic enters the game today, the overwhelming favorite, now 11-0 on the season after yesterday's semifinal victory over FC Austin Elite. And San Antonio Athenians have a point to prove. They're 10-1 themselves, but their one defeat came at the hands of Lone Star Republic. Earlier this season on May 29th, the hosts of today's game defeated the visitors 6-0. And thus, revenge is on the mind for San Antonio. Before we get to kickoff, we'll take you quickly through the lineups. First, for the Athenians, in goal, Mia Wildeman keeps her place, as do 10 of the 11 players on the field today for Coach Fabio Mello. Backline stays the same: Ashley Newland, Maggie Miller, Jamie Erickson, and Ashley Cathro. The midfield three of Isabella Belitic, Helene Ferris, and Emma Durain, who scored the winner in spectacular fashion yesterday. And the one change is in the front line. Jade Piper comes in, replacing Eden Bretzer, and she'll be alongside Amanda Smith and Peyton Bretzer, looking to score on Lone Star Republic for the first time this season. And for the home team, just the one change as well. Bailey Heffernan keeps her place in between the sticks, called into action frequently last night against FC Austin Elite. Jackie Cortez has dropped into the back line as a right back, and the center back partnership stays the same with Kelsey Hodges and Rocky Herrera. Bronwyn Boswell, who had a hat trick against the Athenians earlier this year, starts at left back. Midfield three of Kenny Kessler, Michaela Uyakpei, and Mia Uyoa. And the front line of Emily Jorgens, Mimi Assam, and Emma Heckendern, who we saw play right back yesterday. Looks like she's going to be further up the field today, former Horned Frog at TCU. Referees break their huddle and head off to check the nets on either side of the field. Both teams receiving final word, final instruction from their coaches and captains. And speaking of, got word that Casey Lloyd, the coach of Lone Star Republic and former U.S. Women's National Team player, is available to come off the bench today should her team need her in the lineup. The only game she played this season was against the Athenians in that 6-0 win. She grabbed a goal in 60 minutes of action. Teams break their huddle, and the Athenians look like they'll move from right to left here in the first half, wearing the all-white kits as they did yesterday. Lone Star busting out the red number for Championship Sunday here in the UWS Southwest Conference. This is a matchup that fans of the conference, fans of the sport, would have hoped to see after just one game between the two teams this year, and including the front runners, far and away first and second in the regular season standings. And they get to match up now on the biggest stage with a chance to move on to the national tournament next weekend in Round Rock, Texas, on the line. Yesterday, Lone Star got off to a hot start. Mimi Assam found herself in behind the defense in the opening minute. Put the shot right at the goalkeeper, and then it took all the way until the 53rd minute for the home team to find the breakthrough. So the Athenians will need to be on high alert from the opening seconds here as the team in red and white will kick off. We're underway. Let's drop back to Kenny Kessler. And out wide for Jackie Cortez, the captain being deployed in a defensive position today. Here she is, Cortez, coming into a familiar spot on the field, more centrally. Bretzer uses their speed to win it back on the outside. And Belitic, chance to get a foot on the ball early. Saw Cathro and Bretzer interchange pretty regularly down the left side. Looks like Cathro will start as the left back. And the Creighton University-bound Peyton Bretzer starts ahead of her. Here is Bretzer. The flag's up. Just want to step too soon. Bailey Heffernan will take the restart. She wasn't in goal in that game against the Athenians back in May. It was Daniela Marin. And likewise, the Athenians have made a change in between the sticks since that match as well. Blair Curry started that one, and now Mia Wildeman has locked down the starting position. It's going to be a corner kick for Lone Star Republic, conceded by Maggie Miller. Put in a foot race with Assam. It's not a position that she or anyone in white today will want to be put in. So we battle the sun here, trying to catch the action. Jorgens swings the corner in off the Lone Star defender's head, but not directed goalwards. It's tracked down by Uyak Pei and wide for Cortez. Cortez looks to swing it in. 4 stayed forward in the attack for Republic. The Athenians control possession. Amanda Smith winning it back. Smith got the opener yesterday, and in doing so got into double-digit goals on the season. Kessler is in double digits for Lone Star. She's got 12 in 8 appearances, now 9 appearances. Jade Piper giving chase here. She's not going to give up on the ball, but it ends up in Heffernan's arms. Heffernan sends a booming punt forward. Looks like 3 in the attack for Lone Star Republic as we expected. At the moment, it's Assam down the left wing with Heckendern through the middle. Opening minutes really important for the Athenians. It's really where they saw the game slip away in the opening 10 minutes in the first game against Lone Star this year. They look to have settled in nicely here in the opening 3 minutes of action. That one turned over though. Peyton Bretzer looking to win it back. It's dropped off for Herrera. Cortez again dealing with Peyton Bretzer, who's on the ball now. Overlap came from Cathro, but it's dropped back to Miller. Durain has to be sharp with the ball back, and she is. Looks like Newland starting a bit more centrally. She played right back yesterday. Erickson's the one there at the moment for San Antonio. Erickson on the overlap. Here comes Jamie Erickson, some space, and Amanda Smith to her left. Erickson takes the shot herself, and a diving save from Heffernan. First shot on goal comes from Jamie Erickson. One back by Belichick. Belichick goes to her side for Helene Ferris. Wanted to lift it in behind, but Piper wasn't ready, hadn't made the run just yet. And now Erickson back into center back. Newland back on the right. And maybe something to look out, though. Erickson looks pretty accomplished coming forward into the attack. We don't see it often from the Canadian center back. Belichick shrugs off Kessler and again turns away from the pressure. Cathro back to Miller. Ashley Cathro, some space to work. Keeps the ball in play, and Amanda Smith drops it back to Maggie Miller. Former Saint at Our Lady to Lake University just dawdled on the ball that time, and Assam forced her into putting it out for a throw. Cortez takes the throw into the feet of Assam. Cathro pokes it out of play. Former Ivy League Player of the Year, Mimi Assam certainly didn't have her finest game yesterday. Still threatened at times, but couldn't find the finishing touch. She's got another 90 minutes today to prove valuable to her team in that number 9 position. Looks like maybe coming from an offside position that time, but the referee keeps his flag down. And the Athenians just send it down the field. And they'll set their line up 10 yards. Belichick wins the header. It's with Cathro at the bottom of your screen. Belichick turns back for Miller. Miller into the channel where Amanda Smith made the run. She stayed onside. The ball's taking her wide. There's runners arriving in the penalty area now. Amanda Smith onto her favored right foot, but poked away at the crucial moment. Something still brewing, though, at the moment for San Antonio. Bretzer gets the cross in. There's no runners at the near post. And Heffernan able to claim. Cathro wins that one over Heckendern. Second ball retrieved by Ulloa. Fizz the ball into the feet of Uyok Pei, who did just enough to keep possession. There's another ball lifted in behind. First chance for Kessler to get into the attack. Kessler down the line, gets a left-footed cross in. But it's the left foot of Ashley Cathro that sends it into touch. Eriksson on the back of Assam, who drops it off for Jorgens. Jorgens swings it in. Heckendern gets a foot on it. Wilderman spills it, and it's cleared off the line. Huge opportunity for Lone Star after Wilderman nearly presented the home team with an opportunity to score. The red and white look to keep the pressure on. As Cortez sends a cross in. It arrives at the feet of Jade Piper, and the Athenians will look to go on the counter. Her pass not precise enough to find Amanda Smith. Both teams now with one real opportunity. One born out of a good counterattack. The other one, a moment of panic from the Athenians goalkeeper as Belichick sends this one over the top. Boswell does just enough to judge it correctly. Battling the sun to try and see that one. Assam now into midfield for Ulloa. Duran commits the foul. It'll be Kelsey Hodges to take the free kick. She partnered Madison Hall when the Athenians came to town earlier in the season. Lone Star losing Madison Hall, their starting center back, to injury. Still see her on the bench with the team today. She's certainly a big miss in the lineup. The Athenians missing their top assist provider, Brooke Hansen, who's hoping to join up with the team ahead of a national tournament appearance next weekend. She's going to need the 11 out on the field to give her that opportunity. It's Newland looking for Piper. Second ball won by Ferris. Sent forward by Belichick. Flicked in behind for Jade Piper. And it was a foot race that Bailey Heffernan won. Amanda Smith's hold-up play has been excellent so far in this game. Trying to get the two wingers involved. Two starting wingers, the two Bretzer sisters, both providing an assist in the first half of yesterday's game. I'm sure we'll see Eden later on. Chance to run at some tired legs perhaps in the second 45. Assam gives this one back to Jackie Cortez. Heckendern checks short, lays it back to the captain of Lone Star Republic. Blasted off Belichick from close range and out for another throw. Assam finds a pocket of space in between the midfield and the back line. Tries to poke it in behind for Ulloa. Eriksson battling. Eriksson has position. Eriksson had the last touch. It's out for a throw deep in Athenians territory. In towards Assam. Two defenders there. And they just keep her away from the ball. It rolls all the way through to Wilderman. We'll look to build some confidence after an early mistake that went unpunished. Belichick wins the header. Ferris flicks it on. Piper putting the pressure on Boswell. And it runs out of play. Last touch off of Jade Piper. Boswell, 7 goals this year. 3 of them came against San Antonio. As Kessler sent that one way too far in front of Mimi Assam. Certainly an air of intensity here in Mansfield, Texas. Both teams know what's on the line. So Amanda Smith takes that one out of the air beautifully and slips one in behind for Jade Piper. Teammates working their hardest to get into the box to provide support, but either way, pass just runs out ahead of the former University of the Incarnate Word right winger. 63 appearances for the San Antonio University for Jade Piper. 10 appearances this year for San Antonio Athenians, 1 goal and 1 assist, making her 6th start today. Belichick sticks a foot out. Ferris comes away with the ball. Piper tries to turn the defender. Concedes another throw. Thought it was hers. Instead bounces it into the waiting arms of Boswell. Piper into Smith for the diagonal ball for Peyton Bretzer's run. It's turned over, and Cortez launches it down the field. Miller wins the initial header. Belichick flicks it on. There's a pocket of space now for Jorgens. Looks to put it in behind for Heckendern. Here's a chance for Heckendern, the low shot. It's right at the goalkeeper. First real save for Wilderman to make. Smith takes that one on the thigh. Can't make it stick on this occasion. Cathro baited into committing a foul by Heckendern. Hodges comes across to take. Defender out of Denton, Texas, who's a legend of the UNT women's soccer program. Recently inducted into their Hall of Fame and still a part of the coaching staff for the Mean Green. Ferris applying the pressure, but Kessler turns away. Kenny Kessler approaching the danger area. It's sent wide, ball across. Comfortably held by Mia Wilderman. Wilderman with a booming effort on that punt. Looking for Amanda Smith. It's tracked down by Belichick. So assured in that defensive midfield role. Sterain leaves it for Smith. Cortez put under pressure, but you wouldn't know it by the composure she showed on the ball that time. Hodges steps into the attack, finds a pass for Heckendern, who comes in field. And whistle goes against San Antonio. It'll be a free kick 40 yards from goal. Hodges may think about a shot here and try and catch the goalkeeper out. An accomplished goal scorer at the Division I level, and he's got a goal this season in UWS play. She does have a strike from distance. Wilderman holds it. Hodges maybe looking for more of a knuckleball movement than she got on that strike. The Athenians goalkeeper looking more assured now in between the sticks. Haven't had much possession in the last 5 minutes or so, the visitors. Newland tries to regain it, but her clearance is into no man's land. Bretzer doesn't give up on it, though. Peyton Bretzer down the left wing, matched up with Cortez. Sidestep to the right, gets to the inline, and just has to keep it from going out of play, and is actually unable to do so. It's a good move. Just needed to pull the trigger on the cross. Chance for the Athenians to get into the attacking third for the first time in a few minutes there. Heffernan's goal kick, won by Belichick. Said that a few times already. We're just 17 minutes into this game. Cathro puts it out for a throw. Hassan drops it back to Cortez. Cortez, left-footed diagonal, flicked on by Kessler. Newland misses her first kick. Swings at it again, and now there's space down the left wing for Lone Star. Heckendern gets the cross in, blocked behind for a corner. Ashley Newland rarely missing an opportunity to clear the ball. That time she did. And Lone Star tried to go quickly from the corner to reinforce into conceding another set piece. She was switched on just enough to deal with it. Jorgens lofts it in. Eriksson wins the header and leads the line up the field. Emily Jorgens left it because the San Antonio Athenians executed that offside trap to perfection. They've got to toe the line here as Assam makes the run in behind. Miller wins the header. It's forward for Bretzer. Got Cortez on her back. Cortez whistled for a foul. Eriksson across the take. Couple midfield runners heading towards the Lone Star goal. It's a well-weighted ball in behind. Piper doesn't commit the foul, but gets the shot away. Got plenty behind that one, but Heffernan able to hold it. Direct service from Jamie Eriksson has been pinpoint at times over the weekend, and it was once again that time. Taken on the chest by Heckendern. Miller commits the foul. Infractions piling up for both teams in the last couple minutes. Ulloa takes the free kick quickly. Goes to Kessler. Kessler gliding past a couple defenders, finding the ball into the feet of Assam. Assam looks to turn, calls for Ulloa. Ran into her own player and pulled the shot off target. Approach the 20-minute mark. Still scoreless. Both teams with a couple of opportunities to break the deadlock. Yesterday it took just 8 minutes for San Antonio to do so against Side FC, while Austin Elite held firm against the regular season champions until the 53rd minute when Jorgens found the breakthrough. Miller back to Wildeman, who clears her lines. One goes out just past the halfway line. Tracked down by ball girl on hand. Throw-in ends up in possession of San Antonio. Forward to the feet of Smith. Lays it off for Belichick. In behind for Piper. Speed of Piper continuing to threaten the high line of Lone Star Republic. But so far, Heffernan's timed her ventures off the line well. Jorgens misses her kick that time. But her teammates recover possession. Newland puts that one out for a throw. Erickson gets there ahead of Assam. It's back into the feet of the Lone Star striker. Mimi Assam in the area. Look for the ball to her teammate, but Heckendern couldn't hold it and eventually commits a foul playing from the ground. Teams matching up their systems. You can see in midfield at the moment, everybody's 1 for 1, 4-3-3 going both ways. Durain, who scored a spectacular goal yesterday, took a heavy touch that time, and the narrow field didn't give her any space to make up for it. Diagonal over the top. Heckendern matched up with Cathro. Assam looks for the loose ball, but Erickson wins the header. Bretzer, a couple of defenders to deal with. Thought she was fouled, but instead maintains possession. Smith checks short. Good feet in the tight spaces there from the Canadian striker. Again, Piper wants one in behind. Testing that back line, how deep they're willing to drop. Cathro's throw, flicked on by Durain, ends up back at the feet of the Houston, Texas native. Durain one into the channel. Piper all the way across from the right wing to chase. Lone Star's clearance means it's back at the feet of the Athenians. Only for a moment, though, as Ulloa springs the counterattack. It's in behind for Assam, but the flag's up. Just a matter of a yard or so, and Mimi Assam not happy with the call. Athenians have to be careful, though. That shows how quickly the host today can counterattack. Erickson sends her team up the field, takes the free kick. Piper battling to keep it in play on the far side. She wins the header, but it's out for a throw taken quickly, courtesy of the ball girl. Erickson drops it back to her goalkeeper. Wildeman's ball is on the money for Bretzer on the left wing. Belichick turns away from one, finds Durain, who wants the ball over the top. The run hadn't come that time. It's on the left wing with Kenny Kessler. Lofted ball over the top. Assam in the penalty area. And here comes the shot from Mimi Assam. Needed some more curling movement on it to get on frame. But another warning sign is Miller a little bit afraid of the pace of the striker. Gave her too much space to shoot that time. We expect a water break here in the first half. It was a pretty hot summer day in Mansfield, Texas. Yesterday they took the water break around the 30-minute mark, as opposed to halfway through the first period. Looks like we may be set to do the same today. Durain miscontrols that one out of play. Belichick down the line. One out of play. Cortez will have a throw in. Assam into the corner. Whips across in. Last touch off the Athenians defender. It'll be a corner kick. Jorgens across to take the corner. This will be an out-swinging service. The Athenians defend that 6-yard box. Mia Wildeman comes, gets a punch on it. It arrives at the feet of Amanda Smith, but she's dispossessed by Uyok Pei. Another miscue, that time from Miller, and Wildeman's out of her goal. put it into the attack for LSR. We haven't seen anything spectacular so far offensively, but there's a chance now. The flag goes up, and it's in the back of the net. A rocketed shot from Mimi Assam. Have to get a look at the replay just to confirm the linesman's decision. There's a miscue from Wilderman, and Eriksson's the last defender, and it looks really close. A matter of inches that time. Put the ball in the back of the net. It's the second time there's been a Wilderman error go unpunished, and now the Athenians are up the other end, so the flag's up there as well. And I'll tell you, that one didn't look offside. We'll have to look at it as well. Peyton Bretzer makes the run, and it's at best level, if not Cortez behind. A little trigger happy on either flag at the moment. So Bretzer's been the main threat, linking up with Amanda Smith, while Pipers look to stretch the defense on the other side for the visitors. Cathro infield for Belichick, who's got a moment on the ball. To her right, Emma Durain, all the way right for Ashley Newland. Lifts it into the channel, where Hodges puts it out for a throw-in. It's a little bit misleading because every time I look up, you see the ball girl wearing white with a green penny, which is exactly what the Athenian substitutes will be wearing when they check in later in this game. But now it's Peyton Bretzer onto her favored left foot. Bretzer gets the shot away, but it's blocked. Rocky Herrera doing enough and feeling the effects of that collision as it's put behind for a corner. See Bretzer fakes onto the right foot, gets back to her favored left. And it looks like the shot was on target, blocked before it could reach it. Durain will send an in-swinging service here. Belichick and Eriksson, the two main targets. Sent towards the back post. Belichick wins the initial header. It's still not cleared for LSR, as eventually the clearance blocked by Amanda Smith, out for a goal kick. Panic stations for the home team there from the corner. And the work continues for the replay manager. The initial header won by Belichick, and the chance fell to Helene Ferris. But just too many defenders crowded around the Athenians midfielder. She couldn't get a meaningful effort towards goal. Just like we saw in the first half for LSR yesterday, there are chances for both teams in this game, despite it being scoreless so far. Bretzer can't keep it in play. Heckendern runs into three players in white. Concedes the throw. Smith. Good piece of skill, but again, the field just too narrow at times. Perhaps more than even these players who've played on it for a couple games now expect. Miller wins the header as Assam had spun off her back, and we will pause for the hydration break. 30 minutes gone in the UWS Southwest Regional Final. Chances at both ends. But so far, no balls in the back of the net. I'll be right back with you for the final 15 minutes of the first 45 in just a moment. back on the field for the final 15 minutes or so of this opening frame. It's been back and forth action so far in the first half. Chances at both ends. And it looks like a change in the attack for the Athenians. Piper comes onto this left side. And she'll have a chance now to run at Cortez as Bretzer matches up with Boswell on the other side. Throw in taken into the feet of Jorgens. Sent clear by Ferris. No substitutions for either coach so far. They've both got a job on their hands to manage the tiredness after a game less than 24 hours ago. Intense games that went down to the wire in both semifinals. Nobody able to rest. The Athenians went to one of their players' houses to do some rehab in the pool today. Just trying to keep the legs fresh for this big matchup. This one shot comes in, and Wildeman put a hand up to make sure it was heading over the bar from Kessler. Certainly arrowing towards the back post. Wildeman looked confident. She takes this goal kick onto the head of Uyakpei. And immediately a chance for Heckendern to get down the line. Heckendern tries to cut it back. Wins yet another corner. LSR got to make one of these chances count. We saw the Athenians nearly do just that at the other end from a corner kick. Win the initial header and then turned into a scrum in the box. And swinging service sent in, flicked skyward by Piper and claimed by Wildeman. Unconventional but effective defending from San Antonio. Wildeman sends the punt forward. Piper evades the referee to track down the loose ball. Piper has got Cortez isolated in space, going to look to go around the outside and use her pace. Piper just can't keep that one in play. LSR throw. Two very different approaches on either wing for San Antonio. Bretzer much craftier. She does have the speed, but likes to be a little more shifty on the ball. Piper just go vertically as often as possible. And either fullback's going to have to make an adjustment from an LSR perspective as those two have switched sides. Here's Smith, thinks about a shot, instead cuts it back for Belichick. Piper goes infield. It's dropped off to Cathro. Good shape on the cross into the box, and it arrives at the back post for Amanda Smith. Ferris, back wide for Cathro. Gets it out of her feet, puts the cross in. Locked behind for a corner. Good spell of pressure for the visitors. Had a great chance from their last corner kick. It's once again Derain across to take. Belichick got her head on the last one. Cathro's in a lot of space at the top of the box. It looks like Derain only interested in trying to pick out the head of the number 30 in white. Back post. Eriksson able to win the header, but didn't get enough behind it to trouble Heffernan. Athenians corner kicks looking dangerous in this first half. Nothing in the back of the net as of yet. Belichick gets a touch from the punt. Heckendern gets the second ball, and Jorgens picks up the ball in midfield. Looks like she swapped with Kenny Kessler. Is now out on the left wing where we saw her play the second half last night. She's got the overlapping run here. Two in the area for Lone Star Republic. And swinging service towards Heckendern. Got a head on it, but couldn't direct it on frame. was a great overlapping run, actually, from Kelsey Hodges, the center back, who made her way into the attack and linked up with Kenny Kessler. Kessler once again now chasing the UWS lead in goals on the season. She finished tied with 12 in the complement of 10 regular season matches. 5 assists to go with it as well, as the Psalm will give chase, but this one runs out of play. And it's going to be a throw deep in San Antonio territory. Bretzer flicks it on from the throw. Durain runs into a brick wall and draws the foul. I don't know if there was actually much in that. The referee's whistle goes and the white shirts are able to step up the field. Smith calling for it. And she's the target as Erickson bombs it down the field. Poked away from Heckendern. Wide now for Bretzer. Newland on the overlap, and now she's out of position. There's 3 in the attack for LSR. It slipped through for Assam, but she had made a different run into a different channel. And that flash point of danger immediately dissipates. Wilderman, a line drive punt. Wanted to get more height on that, but the Athenians deal with it. Header won by Uyakpei over Durain. Now Piper against Cortez. Two of them matched up against someone who's their own height, probably for the first time this season. Not a lot of height going down the left side at the moment for the Athenians. Cathro takes the throw into Smith, and the Athenians' ball as Herrera puts it out of play. 5 minutes to go, plus probably 4 or so minutes of stoppage time. Smith turns one defender, has it taken away by the second, and Kessler looks to spring the counterattack. Header won by Erickson, and the second ball cleaned up by Erickson as well. Smith brings it out of the air. Bretzer on the overlap. Jade Piper, the only one in the box at the moment in white. Bretzer claiming for a handball. Looked like the defender kept her arms in, even if it did make contact. And now Erickson on another foray forward down the right wing. Amanda Smith takes the shot. Too close to the goalkeeper. Erickson again creating an opportunity with the sprint up from the back line. Showing some offensive talent that I haven't really got to see this season. She's been the anchor of the back line. Cathro up against Heckendern. Cathro goes to ground. Nothing doing, says the referee. Belichick able to win it back. Now makes the run in behind. Izzy Belichick down the left wing. Cortez there to try and apply the pressure. Smith takes the shot on. And it stings the palms of Heffernan once again. Everything a little too close to the LSR goalkeeper at the moment, but the Athenians are on the rise in this game. Belichick gets that one just right, and crucially so, in the center circle. Uyakpei petitions the referee for a foul, and after a couple seconds of thinking, he gives it to her. Durain maybe gets a word from the official about some physical play. But you expect that in a game of this intensity, of this importance for both sides. It's win or go home. Ball sent over the top. Kessler made the run. Wilderman comfortable. Thought about throwing it. Last time she did that, it resulted in a ball in the back of the net, ruled out for offside. and so instead opts for the punt. Out for the throw in just at the halfway line. Newland heads clear. And Boswell will do it again. Again looking for a Assam. Sent skyward, Erickson wins the header. Referee doesn't blow his whistle. So Erickson is able to win the ball and just clattered into Assam, staying down at the moment. The captain and leader of the Athenians team had an excellent first half, both on the defensive and offensive end. Haven't played a minute without her on the field. Can't really imagine the Athenians team without Jamie Erickson in the back line. And luckily for them, she's able to continue. We've got to quickly set the line here as the throw-in's taken on the far side. Win the initial header. And Durain volleys it forward. Smith the only one in the attack at the moment for San Antonio. Belichick cleans up the loose ball, and now Piper and Belichick go beyond Amanda Smith. It's put into the channel. Hodges coming across, put it out of play. Really good closing speed from Kelsey Hodges. One of the more experienced, older players on either team. Definitely still got the pace needed at the back. The Athenians at the moment deep in LSR territory. Throw in taken towards Piper. He looks to turn Cortez. Cortez trying to shield this out of play and does well. Approaching first half stoppage time. These two teams vying for position at the UWS National Tournament next weekend. Two Final Four games will be held at Round Rock Multipurpose Complex on a Friday, and the National Championship game will ensue on a Sunday after that. Bretzer, great diagonal ball, splitting the back line. Piper now down the left wing. Jade Piper isolates her defender 1v1, gets to the end line, left-footed ball across. But Heffernan holds it. And the 45 minutes of the first half are up. We'll see what the referee decides to add on for the hydration break and other stoppages. Just about 3 minutes on average yesterday from the refereeing crew. Kessler, who's been kept quiet so far by San Antonio, has always got the ability to change a game, when we saw it in the 88th minute yesterday when they won it. This one slipped through for Assam, who gets the shot away on the left foot. And it was impressive that she even got it on frame. Is facing the complete opposite direction, swings her hips around, gets the shot off, but Wilderman was ready and waiting to make the save. Kessler's ball yesterday in the 89th minute led to the winning goal for LSR, and that's why they're here. Here she is again in the attack. Newland gets there first, pokes it away, and draws the foul. Smart defensive play that time from Ashley Newland. Knew she was going to have to take the contact for the team. Able to make the tackle nonetheless. Some Athenian substitutes warming up. Looks like Fahey Mior maybe poised to come in for the second half. Erickson, another free kick launched up the field. Smith pounces on the loose ball. Piper goes beyond. It's poked out for a throw. Taken short to Ferris. Ferris sets it down for Smith. Tough one to deal with for the Canadian striker. She can't keep possession, and Miller puts it out for a throw. There have been considerably less stoppages today because we've got ball girls ready to put it back in play immediately. So maybe just 2 or so minutes. That's what we've played so far of stoppage time. Those don't usually get put into the equation for how much the referee adds on. It's usually fouls, substitutions, goals. and hydration breaks, which we had today. No goals as of yet. Much different than when these two teams met back in May, and it was 4-0 at the break in favor of Lone Star Republic. Belichick wins the header from the goal kick. Piper tries to track down the second ball. Eventually does so all the way on the right wing. Piper past one defender with a heavy touch. Means it arrives at the feet of Kelsey Hodges, who's immediately looking to get her team going the other way. It's a diagonal put over the top. Wildeman comes and swings at it with her feet. It falls at the feet of Mimi Assam. Wildeman retreating back onto her line. Heckender now at the top of the box. Shot blocked. But it arrives at the feet of Kessler. Kenny Kessler, 1v1 with Newland as the half draws to an end. Ball put across. Miller gets a touch, and the shot's right at the goalkeeper. Golden opportunity on the stroke of halftime. Emma Heckendern with the last kick of the first half. And Wildeman forced into another huge save. But on this one, she didn't have to step to her left or right. It was right at her. An action-packed first half comes to a close, and we are no closer to figuring out who will advance out of the Southwest Regional to play in Round Rock next weekend. I hope you'll stick around. 15 minutes of halftime, and then we'll have the second 45 on your screen. You're watching UWS playoff action on the LSR YouTube channel, and Mike Cujo. Welcome back to Mansfield, Texas, where we're 45 minutes away from deciding who will be the UWS Southwest Regional Champion. The hosts today, Lone Star Republic, were able to be that in the regular season with a 10-0-0 record. The Athenians came up just short, 9-1 on the year. Their lone defeat was against their opponents today. So they're out for revenge as well as a spot in the national tournament. Looks like changes afoot on both sides. Get those to you as soon as possible. Allison Fahey's entered the game for the Athenians. Looks like Peyton Bretzer to the bench. Melissa Mior into the game for Emma Durain. Those are the two changes for the visitors. And up front, for the first time this weekend, it looks like it's going to be Casey Lloyd, wearing the number 16 shirt today. As Mior immediately making an impact, winning the header. Fahey applying the pressure. And it's an Athenians throw. If you missed it, we mentioned Casey Lloyd, the player coach for LSR this year, 2 times national champion with UNC at the collegiate level, and played plenty of seasons professionally, including 5 appearances for the U.S. women's national team. Assam looks like she's off. Yep, there you see confirmation of the sub up front for LSR. Kessler immediately looking to pick out Lloyd. Lloyd holding off Miller. Spraying it wide for Sheldon. And now the ball swung in, so I'm just trying to get to grips with the substitutions. It's like Douse on the right wing. On the left wing now, she lines up for the goal kick. Ball sent down the line for Ulloa. Overhit and runs out of play for a throw deep in Athenians territory. Kelsey Sheldon, the other new entrant coming out for the second half in red and white. So an all-new front three for LSR, who clearly not happy with the second straight game with no goals in the first half. Coach Lloyd looking to step in and do it herself as up front striker. Piper dribbling that one up the field, eventually running out of room. Lloyd tries to flick that one on. Miller fouled. It's going to be a physical battle for Erickson and Miller here in the second half. Who stood up to everything that Mimi Assam was able to offer up in the first 45. And as good as Assam is, one of the elite strikers in the league, the task got even harder here in the second half. Confirmation of the Athenians change. Fahey in for Bretzer. Erickson lost one forward. Here is Fahey, edge of the area. Can't settle it. It's over the top now for Piper. Piper immediately looking to cross. Fahey rises highest, wins the header. Amanda Smith on hand. But Heffernan, quick off her line. Mior, again, wins the punt off the foot of Heffernan. Ferris tracking back, runs into Lloyd. Belichick comes away with the ball. And Newland's got some space, the Athenians right back. Wants the ball back from Fahey. Now Newland stayed forward. The right back and the right winger will switch as the play moves forward down the left side. Cathro. Ahead to Mior on the turn. Piper back to Cathro. Through for Piper. Just over hit. Good exchange of passes. With a couple of the Athenian substitutes down the left side. Belichick, another huge header in midfield. The commanding 6-foot frame from the Corpus Christi native. He's won countless headers off goal kicks and punts. And nearly creating a goal-scoring chance off a corner as well in the first half. Mior fouled. And this will be a free kick slightly closer to goal. 35 yards out now for Erickson. Whose service from deeper has been excellent. A quick change. It's like Eden Bretzer now into the game for Jade Piper. So now 3 changes for either side. Coach Mello swapping out his 2 wingers. Erickson with a shot towards goal. Rising too high, eventually over the crossbar. Heffernan maybe not ready for a shot from that far of a distance. Ultimately didn't have anything to do. In the first half, LSR had 9 shots, 4 on target, all saved by Wilderman. And the Athenians had 7 shots, and they've kept all of those on frame. And despite that, you can't really point to a moment where Heffernan had to do a ton of work. It's all been right at the goalkeeper at either side. Despite the one ball that was put into the back of the net by Mimi Assam, ruled out for offside. It's the only time either goalkeeper has been beaten. Mior draws her 2nd or 3rd foul already. Just 5 minutes into the half. Erickson over the top. Smith closest to it. Initial clearance isn't convincing from LSR. The second ball sent much further down the field. Mior that time takes a bump and stays on her feet. Kessler springs the counterattack for LSR. Lloyd's ball certainly hit the heavy foot, and Wilderman able to come out and get it. Bretzer with some space to move up the left wing. Infield for Ferris. Ferris diagonal over the top. Allison Fahey. She's got Amanda Smith to her left. Allison Fahey gets the cross in. And runs all the way behind for a goal kick. At the moment, the first place and the second place team in the UWS Southwest showing why they finished high up the table. It's been a really high quality game. Just looking for a finishing touch at either end. Cathro wins the header. Out for an LSR throw in front of their bench. Looks like Heckendern now at right back. in place of Cortez, who for the second straight game just goes 45 minutes for LSR. Another free kick for Erickson to take, coming right up. It's been the one area where LSR have been a little bit light in terms of squad depth, the outside back's position, moving players around to try and fill that spot. As Erickson's ball headed clear by Hodges. At the moment, Boswell and Heckendern, both usually more attacking players, filling in either side of the center backs. This one lofted over the top. Douse will give chase, and Newland forced to put that one further away from goal as Mia Wilderman stayed at home. Cathro draws a foul. Boswell, who had a hat trick against the Athenians earlier this season, as this game goes on, to think about maybe moving her back into an attacking position. Erickson launches it forward towards the head of Fahey. Boswell wins it. Mior tracks down the second ball, turns out of pressure well. Ball into the feet of Bretzer. Forward for Smith. Couldn't hold off the defender. And it's turned over back to LSR. Belitic can't win it back. Now a chance for Douse. Lays it off to Kessler. No way past Belitic. Who scoops it down the line for Smith to chase. Fahey cuts it out, puts it back forward. It's not too comfortable at the back for really either team. It's the attacking quality that's been on display all season. Always in the back of the defender's mind. Bretzer takes contact 2 or 3 times from Heckendern. Finally, the referee's whistle comes. And Erickson again, forward to take. The Athenians have scored 33 goals this year, 43 for LSR. Plenty forward in white as Erickson raises the right hand, triggering the runs. She takes the shot towards the back post, and she had Heffernan worried. Plenty of movement on that strike from Erickson. If you look at the replay, really got a ton behind that one, and it started on target, veered away. Heffernan happy to see it go past the post. Ferris wins the header. Mior, it's the loose ball. Back to Ferris. Erickson cleans it up. Ferris wide for Bretzer. Gets the touch in, and Heckendern commits her 3rd foul against Bretzer in quick succession. The ball's kicked away, and yep, yellow card comes out for Emma Heckendern. She's had difficulty dealing with Eden Bretzer since the Canadian winger entered the game in the 47th minute. And another free kick for Erickson, who's had plenty of opportunities to find her range. Or will she look for a teammate this time? 4 in the area if she chooses to do so. Erickson, another shot on goal! And it's off the post! And Smith can't turn it into the doorstep. What a strike from Erickson, denied by Heffernan. And immediately going the other way, it's 4v4. Kessler leading the charge. Looks for the ball wide for Lloyd. But it's cut out by a sliding intervention from Maggie Miller. What a sequence of play. The Erickson free kick rattles the frame of goal from 35 yards. And we'll get a quick look at it while we can. Her second one was close. This one, as close as you can get. What a flying save from Heffernan to keep it scoreless here. Erickson looking like the free kick specialist that many expected when she signed for the Athenians. but maybe from further range than anyone expected her to be this accurate. And for LSR, now it turns into, you've got to stop fouling from that range. Usually, it's not a problem from 35 plus yards. But it seems like Erickson's going closer with each attempt as Lloyd fizzes this one across. Last touch is off Jessica Dowse. Oh no, looks like it'll be off the Athenians behind for a corner. Lloyd will take. Three stay back in red and white. Amanda Smith up the field to occupy them. Everybody else with their attentions on Mia Wildeman's goal. And Casey Lloyd's corner kick. Right hand raised, in-swinging service comes in. It's fizzed across with all kinds of pace on it. Too much pace for anyone to deal with it. It just flicked off an Athenians defender out for a throw on the opposite side. Incredible the power with which Casey Lloyd can hit a ball. Bretzer wins it back, and LSR are out of position here as it's put forward for Smith. Allison Fahey's in behind. Allison Fahey with Hodges coming across to close it down. She takes the shot herself. And it was actually Heckendern with the emergency defending. It opened up for San Antonio for a moment. They couldn't turn it into a shot on goal. Breathless action here in Mansfield at the moment. Two hands raised this time for Mior. Sends it into the danger area. Belichick there with an outstretched leg, but it's cleared away. Newland keeps it away from Dowse. And the white shirts come streaming back. 30 minutes to go. Still scoreless, but not for a lack of chances. Belichick wins the header from the throw. Mior hooks it towards Smith, but overhits the pass. Herrera into the pass of Sheldon. Cathro wins it back, and now Bretzer with some space. Smith holds off the attentions of a couple defenders, and now Cathro sends it forward on the overlap. Gets it back from Bretzer. Allison Fahey is the only one in the box at the moment for San Antonio. It's a dangerous ball. Fahey's there. But hooked away by Boswell. And there's three in the attack immediately going the other way for LSR. Kessler past Newland. Lloyd beats Erickson to the ball, and now Dowse is 1v2. Miller definitely comfortable just putting that one out of play and allowing her teammates to come back and help on defense. Taken quickly to Lloyd. Lloyd steps into the box now, looking maybe for a left-footed shot. Ball taken away, and now Bretzer dribbles clear. Game becoming increasingly stretched. Eden Bretzer brings it across the halfway line. Into the path of Smith. Poked away from the Canadian striker. She wins it back, but referee says she committed a foul. And Amanda Smith visibly upset at his decision. And you see they're in conversation here. Completely different game from the one we saw back in May when these two teams first met. Both clubs competing in their first UWS playoff run and fighting for the right to represent the Southwest Conference at the national tournament next weekend. Mior goes past to Yoa, but her pass is off the mark. Possession regained by LSR. Immediately, though, Belichick. It's a nice flick forward. Tracked down by Uyok Pei. Cathro. Infield for Ferris. Pocket of space for Bretzer. Smith makes the run into the channel. Bretzer goes short for Mior. Down the line for Fahey. Amanda Smith's work to get into the box here as it's dropped off for Mior. Takes a shot on, maybe a cross. Either way. Didn't worry the LSR defense. Both sets of players really trying to catch their breath at the moment as either team set up for counterattack after counterattack. 3 or 4 staying forward in red and white when the Athenians go one way, and Fahey, Bretzer, and Smith lead the charge at the other end when LSR turns over possession. Belichick wins the header. Ferris wins the second ball, takes a bump, and it's out for a throw. And Olivia Wright will now enter the game for Helene Ferris, who's put in a good shift in midfield for San Antonio. 63 minutes of action for Ferris, who's headed off to UTSA, the conclusion of this UWS season, which she hopes will be next Sunday rather than today. But she'll have no further part in today's action. Replaced by Olivia Wright, who had a great opportunity yesterday to seal the game and make it 3-1. Couldn't take it. She's certainly in the game more today to provide some physical play, some energy in midfield. Here she is on the ball. Lovely piece of skill. And she left the defender on the ground. Still slow to get up. Is that Sheldon? It is. Limps away. Say it's an attacking substitution in the center of the park for Coach Mello, with Wright coming in for Ferris, who's got offensive instincts but much more of a box-to-box player. Even more defensive responsibility is with Isabella Belichick. She's tracking back to try and take it away from Lloyd. It goes to ground looking for a foul. Referee says nothing doing. Possession regained by Kessler. Miller forward for Bretzer. Bretzer past 1, not past 2, as Ulloa wins it back. Spread wide for Douse. Douse takes the shot. First time that Wildemans had to make a save here in the second half. She was just able to shuffle over and easily catch it. Douse can't keep this one in play. And both teams catch their breath as we wait for the ball to come back in. You can't underestimate the effect that having people around the field ready to get the ball immediately back in has on the fitness levels when you're not used to it. Experienced that myself. You're used to catching your breath every time it goes out of play, 10 seconds or so. And at the moment, it's frantic. It's every 3 seconds the ball's back in. You're either sprinting upfield trying to grab the go-ahead goal, or you're sprinting back trying to defend. It's a free kick for LSR. Kelsey Hodges lines it up 45 yards from goal. Plenty forward. As she launches it into the area. Header won by Miller. And out for a throw-in. Sheldon sends it in to the feet of Lloyd. A couple of defenders draped on the back of Casey Lloyd. She's got Wright and Miller to deal with in the corner and manages to keep possession. Ulloa turns away from pressure. And it's all the way back with Hodges in the center circle. Athenians able to step the line up a couple yards. Wright, important interception in midfield. Smith brought down from behind by Hodges, and at bare minimum, the yellow card's coming out. That was straight from behind, cynical tackle from Kelsey Hodges, who knew, I think, that she had made the mistake with the pass and made sure it didn't lead to anything worse. So is this in Jamie Erickson's range? We're about to find out. She's put one off the post from about 40 yards. This one stands 46 yards from Bailey Heffernan, who is on high alert despite the immense distance between taker and goal. Doesn't get a ton behind this one, but Olivia Wright's brought it down in the area. Olivia Wright on the turn. Has it taken off her toes. Mior, the only one in midfield defensively right now for the Athenians. As Sheldon puts a foot on the ball. And Ayoa turns away from the pressure Amanda Smith provided. Good read by Newland. She brings it into the attack, lofts it forward. Has to be careful as there's a couple players free down the left wing for LSR, and now they're back on the ball. LSR wanting a free kick, but last touch was off the red and white. Referee satisfied with the contact. Erickson wins an important header as Lloyd had looked to spin out and get in behind. Now she has the ball at her feet. Nearly flicked over the head of Erickson, who rises just high enough to win it. Newland sends it out of play. Last touch off LSR. Boswell will retreat. We approach 70 minutes here in this UWS Southwest Regional Final. It's been intense. It's been one of the best games of the season, as you'd expect. The two best teams in the conference coming together. Amanda Smith going to put Herrera under pressure. Forced to just put it out into touch. Athenians go quickly from the throw. Herrera again out of play. You see bent over at the hips, maybe trying to catch her breath. These two teams playing less than 24 hours ago. Will that start to show here in the final 20 minutes? Amanda Smith down the left wing. Can't wriggle past Uyak Pei. But LSR can't keep it in play. It's another throw down the left wing for San Antonio. Cathro takes it into the feet of Smith. Smith does just enough to keep it on the field of play. Smith turns past one. Has it poked away by the second defender. And Kessler sends it clear. Erickson's ball was right to the feet of Smith. She couldn't hold it. And now Erickson caught in the foot race going the other way. Only for a moment, though, as the ball then ran out of play. I think both the coaches and players on either side are looking forward to the water break here to catch their breath, get some fluids on, and also talk about the tactics of what we're seeing unfold out there at the moment. Wright loses out to Ulloa. Lloyd takes it on the chest. Tries to flick it past Newland. Newland was ready. Boswell now set to take the throw. Erickson's header, flicked on by Belichick. Fahey wins the next ball. Newland so proactive with her defensive movements, never reacting to the play, always there to snuff it out ahead of the danger. Belichick puts it into the path of Smith. 3 in the attack for San Antonio. It's with the Canadian winger Eden Bretzer. Drops it off for Wright. Overlap comes from Cathro. Heckendern across to put it out for a throw. Pace of Emma Heckendern's come in handy a couple times. Wright looks to hold off the attention of the defender. Cathro swings it in. May break for Smith at the top of the box. It's Eden Bretzer! And it perhaps looked closer from here than it actually was. Either way, another great effort from the Athenians just wide of goal. Good Cruyff turn just inside the box, and Heffernan was watching that one go by, praying that it was going to end up outside the post, and it did. Eden's sister Peyton playing the first half. She's looked really positive in the second half. Drew quite a few fouls. And now had a couple opportunities at goal. Here she applies the pressure to Heckendern. It's down the line. No one home for LSR. Tired legs, tired minds already starting to set in. You can only imagine if this game stays scoreless, what it'd be like in extra time. Newland can't take it off the feet of Boswell. It's with Kessler in the center circle. Kessler, one of those looking really tired at the moment. Not a ton of movement from her. And overhit that pass. Far from the usual quality we're used to seeing from the former Villarreal midfielder in Spain. Belichick puts that one out. For an LSR throw, the water break got to be fast approaching here. Just the referee remembers to take it. Lloyd flicks that one down the line. Erickson tracks it down and sends it high into the night sky. Out for another throw. Boswell into Douse. Her pass only finds the feet of Olivia Wright. Shrugs off Ulloa. Bretzer can't control it. And it's out for another throw. LSR will take in front of their bench. Off the head of Douse, all the way back to the opposite 30-yard line. Smith battling for it here with Herrera. Not a ton of distance on the clearance from the center back. Boswell looks to put some more behind it. It's out to Sheldon on the right wing. Bretzer dribbles away from the altercation. Smith comes short. Bretzer looks to take it herself. Eden Bretzer into the penalty area. Cleaned up by Kelsey Hodges. Looks like there's something special in the boots of Eden Bretzer tonight. Second time she's taken on a couple of defenders. Created an opportunity all her own. And we will finally now take that hydration break. This game is intense. It's finally poised for the final 15 minutes plus stoppage time. We're still looking for the UWS Southwest Regional Champion. And we'll find it when we come back in just a moment. So around the UWS playoffs, countrywide this weekend. We've seen CT Fusion advance out of the East. They defeated FC Buffalo 2-0 today. In the Midwest, we've got Midwest United facing off against St. Louis Scott Gallagher today for that national tournament place. Out of the Southeast, Pensacola FC defeated the Atlanta Panthers 2-0 to move on. And then tonight, we've got Foothills WFC versus Santa Clarita Blue Heat. And then, of course, here in Mansfield, Texas, you've got LSR and San Antonio Athenians neck and neck at the moment. Still scoreless. A game full of chances. Just lacking the opening goal so far. Mior on the ball for the purple and white. Finds the ball out to Bretzer. Bretzer into the channel for Smith, who timed it well. But Herrera timed it even better. And now it's slipped in behind for Casey Lloyd. Erickson retreating to try and apply the pressure. It's flashed across by Casey Lloyd. She couldn't keep it on target. First real sighted goal for the player coach out of San Diego, California. Wasn't a particularly good angle. But you see the power that she can get behind the strike if that finds the back post. Very little that Wilderman could do about it. Douse knocks it off to Boswell. It's LSR who've come out of the hydration break with a little more energy. Right, thought she was fouled. Instead, Ulloa dribbles it clear. Belichick gets there just ahead of Lloyd. Flicked on by Mior onto the head of Fahey. Smith couldn't return the give and go with Allison Fahey, the Athenians original, and her 4th season with the team. Team that's seen a lot of changes. New ownership this season, moving to a new home at Soccer Central in San Antonio. New head coach in Fabio Mello, and plenty of new faces, including the Canadian contingent. Jamie Erickson, the leader of this team, coming from north of the border. So too Amanda Smith, the top scorer for the San Antonio club. Wilderman from a lot closer to home. She's a San Antonio native. Goalkeeper heading to Nebraska in the fall for her first season of collegiate action. She's going to be well prepared after a great year in UWS this year. Whistle goes against San Antonio. And we are into the final 10 minutes. Both teams still searching for an opening goal. You got a feeling that Casey Lloyd's going to be searching for it here from the free kick. Nothing has been out of range for either team today. And Lloyd is pacing with intention. This one's set up on the 31-yard line, 41 yards from goal. Casey Lloyd can't keep it on target. It was a tough ask even for a player of her quality to get the requisite accuracy and power all in one strike. Wilderman sends the Athenians up the field. Her goal kick, just about 5 yards from the halfway line, is won by LSR. Lloyd holds it up, off to Ulloa. Poke through for Sheldon. We'll try and keep this in play, but too much on the pass. Okay, that was Kessler actually trying to keep it in. Took until the 89th minute for LSR to win the semifinal game yesterday. That one came courtesy of Renata Vargas, who's still on the bench at the moment. Right with the loose touch. Lloyd pounces on it. Lloyd's going to have the strike, and Wilderman holds it. Wright has stayed down behind the play. And even though the shot came in right at Mia Wilderman, you could see it took every bit of her strength to keep it in front of her. Fortuitously lands at the feet of Melissa Mior. And the Athenians have some possession here. Miller wide for Bretzer. Popped up as the left back here in the build-up. Back out to Eden Bretzer. Into the channel for Smith. An all-Canadian attack at the moment down the left wing for the Athenians. It runs out of play ahead of former U20 national team player Ashley Cathro. Still very much in that youth national team picture for Canada, Ashley. Should be heading back to play college ball at Illinois when the season concludes. Wright wins the header, finds the feet of Smith, tries to turn but puts it out. Couple options remaining on the San Antonio bench. Sarah Bahi and Channing Borden, they were the last two to enter yesterday. Not warming up at the moment. Borden would be an attacking change, Bahi a defensive one, maybe if the Athenians find a goal. At the moment though, it's Lone Star who come forward down the left side. Douse picks it up. Newland across to defend, Belichick as well. A couple of tackles from Izzy Belichick, and LSR back with their left back. Ron and Boswell have a strike from distance. Scored 3 against the Athenians earlier this year. Tried to find her range from way out on that occasion to break the deadlock. Ball at the feet of Lloyd. Kessler's made the run in behind. Miller across to deal with it. Pokes it out for a throw. Lloyd, one of a couple LSR players, checking to the ball. Here she has it in the box. Casey Lloyd poked away by Miller. Still not cleared. No foul, says the referee, as Wright made the challenge. Shot from distance blocked by Bretzer. All hands to the defensive pump at the moment for the Athenians as Erickson heads clear. Wright on the turn. Bretzer on the overlap. Smith ahead of her. Fahey doing everything she can at the bottom of your screen to get into the attack. She made the run, but Eden Bretzer couldn't supply the crossfield ball. Kessler to the feet of Lloyd on the turn. Leaves Miller behind her. And it's the chance now, maybe, that they've been looking for. LSR, shot comes in. Turned away. It's Kelsey Hodges who'd come all the way up from the back. Every time she does that, I lose my bearings a little bit looking for the number 23. Trying to do it herself, the center back. Now she's tracking back as Amanda Smith made the overlapping run. Another big tackle from Heckendern. Had a great second half. Started the game further forward, moved into the right back role. Put in a couple of huge tackles. She's got to be careful as well on a yellow card. Time that one to perfection. Chance maybe for a long throw. Fahey across to take it. We've seen this at times. Some of the more narrow pitches. And UWS this year, it's launched in right, closest to it in purple and white. Erickson had also come forward. She'll stay forward as Fahey will have another crack at it. Athenians really going for it here from this throw-in opportunity with 4 minutes plus stoppages to go. Fahey launches it in. Erickson tries to win it. Wins the second ball. It's bouncing in the box. Zuyoa hooks it clear. And we'll do it all over again. Third straight throw-in from a similar position for San Antonio. Can they make the pressure count? Fahey lofts it forward onto the thigh of Amanda Smith. Amanda Smith off the bar! Erickson! And it's in the back of the net! Mayhem ensuing here at R.O. Anderson Stadium. And Jamie Erickson's first goal of the season is a huge one. It may well send the Athenians to the national championship tournament. The LSR defense, put under constant pressure by those long throws, eventually fell to the feet of Amanda Smith, who rattled the crossbar second time San Antonio have hit the woodwork. And Erickson was on hand to tap home at the back post. And now it's going to be defense versus attack for 3 minutes plus stoppage time as LSR search for an equalizing goal. Ulloa immediately from distance. What a save! Wilderman uses every inch of her 6'1" frame to tip that over the bar. And here we go with a corner kick. Douse will take. Just one stays back for LSR as it's whipped towards the back post. Huge chance for Hodges. And if LSR go on to lose this game, she'll be seeing that one tonight in her sleep. A perfectly weighted corner kick right onto her head, and she scored plenty of goals in her career, her collegiate career. 32 goals as a defender. Has one this year in UWS as well. The Athenians center back Jamie Erickson scoring moments ago. LSR's Kelsey Hodges nearly drawing level once again, instantaneously. Wilderman, as you'd expect, in no hurry as the Athenians do make another change. It's Belichick who's cramped up and it's going to have to come off, so Sarah Bahi will enter the defensive midfield area. That's a huge loss for the Athenians trying to see this game out. Belichick has been a wall in midfield over this regional tournament. Kessler wins the first header. Wright tries to track it down. And Wright commits the foul. Final minute of regulation. LSR's undefeated season, 11-0-0 up to this point, is at risk. Hodges had a huge chance to equalize. Now she sends this ball into the box for a teammate. Off the right foot of Cathro. Fahey clotheslined as she got to the ball first. Kessler didn't expect it at all, the pace from Fahey, much less the commitment, as Kenny Kessler goes into the book. The contact up towards the neck of Allison Fahey. I don't think Kessler did a ton wrong, really. Didn't expect Fahey to come around the outside as quickly as she did. The trainer comes out onto the field to tend to Allison Fahey, who's been with the club since the beginning, and she might see them to their first ever national tournament today. All eyes are going to be on the referee for all of stoppage time. See how much he adds on. He's certainly keeping track of it at the moment as play stopped. Fahey looks like she may be in real trouble. The Athenians have one more option on the bench, and that's Channing Borden. Currently, the visitors huddling up, discussing how these final 5 minutes will unfold. 5 minutes or so, looking at stoppage time here. And no electronic board for the referee to signal to us just how much he's adding on. If you missed it at the start of the broadcast, we talked about the first time these two teams met. LSR winning the regular season game 6-0. It wasn't close, and it really put a dent in the Athenians' title charge, and they ultimately couldn't make up ground as LSR have yet to lose a game up to this point since their inception on the women's side. Fahey really shooken up, and the magic spray's going to come out. Looks like it was awfully cold. Erickson, you see, takes a sip of that water bottle. She's got the winning goal as it stands. Fahey still moving that arm. Some discomfort. But Borden doesn't look like she's set to come into the game, so at the moment at least, the Athenians play with 10. On the verge of a big upset, on the verge of revenge. They'll need to be resolute throughout stoppage time to ensure that they get this one over the line. Lloyd, arcing diagonal over the top. Cathro retreating. Heckendern on the overlap. Gets to the end line. Ashley Cathro. Puts her hands up, says no foul. Referee agrees. It's dropped off. This was Sheldon. Under hits the pass and right. Dribbles clear out for an Athenians throw. Near the bench, where Izzy Belichick's being stretched out at the moment. She put in a huge shift in midfield across the 2 games. Will it be enough to see one more weekend of action this summer? Miller, first touch, second touch, pokes it clear. Bretzer launches it down the field to the waiting feet of Kelsey Hodges. Long ball forward, flicked on by Lloyd. Wilderman off her line. Newland there to shield it. Referee has a glance at his watch. Wilderman sends a punt towards the right wing where Fahey's back on the field. She won't be able to track this one down. Bounces well over her head. 3.5 minutes gone in stoppage time. Miscue off the left foot of Fahey. No one forward for LSR. But nobody gave Cathro a shout. As Boswell's on the attack. Slipped through. Shots for a penalty. Referee says no. Boswell and Kessler both stayed down after a couple of big comings together. Huge, huge moment for the referee there. See if we can get a look at that. As Kenny Kessler went down in the box a little bit further back. Referee well positioned, was satisfied with what he saw. Athenians, though, towing the line. And at the moment, the official hearing it from the crowd gathered on the near side. Plenty of members of the Athena family, the Athenians fans, across the way. Behind the players' benches. When we restart here, it'll be a throw-in for LSR. Still, they leave 3 back, surprisingly, as it's sent into the box towards Lloyd. Lloyd juggles it up to herself once, then twice. But Fahey comes away with it. Now almost 5 minutes gone. LSR looking for a lifeline, looking to force extra time. Here at home, looking to extend their unbeaten run to the national tournament. Ulloa protesting for a foul as another long shot comes in. Not much behind it from Hodges, and Wilderman can gather. She'll take her time with this one. No whistle forthcoming from the official just yet. Fahey applying the pressure high up the field. Everybody else back in purple and white. Miller wins the first ball. Second ball flicked on. Cleared away by Erickson, who's got the winning goal as it stands. Great piece of skill from Smith if she can track down the ball. It'll be a throw-in for the home team in their final moments of their debut season, unless they can find an equalizing goal. 6 minutes now gone in stoppage time. Cleared away by Miller, and that'll do it. The Athenians get their revenge in a big way. They're headed to the national championship tournament. Jamie Erickson's goal in the 87th minute is enough. And the favorites, LSR, go out here today in a valiant effort. You see 16 shots, 7 on target. Wilderman certainly called into action time after time in the Athenians' goal, but she held strong and kept a 0 on that side of the scoreboard, and that was enough. The San Antonio Athenians will play on to Round Rock next Friday. It's been an exciting game of back and forth action, a fitting conclusion to a hugely competitive UWS Southwest season. And we thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we hope you'll tune in for the national tournament this upcoming weekend in Round Rock. My name is Ryan Figger. It's been a great pleasure to bring all the action to you here on the LSR YouTube channel, as well as my Cujo. for now, we thank you for your time and wish you a good night.